Yes, people, welcome back to Pole Position Pod on AIN Sports. Today we've got the Monza Grand Prix review. We've got the lads, the full house today. Ranveer is back, Gusty is back, King is back, and obviously Liam. Unfortunately, King couldn't join yesterday because of the England game, but he's back now for the review show. But King, I didn't speak to you yesterday. How are you doing, my bro?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
He's
As a
happy.
Lando hater,
No,
the
no.
race. So,
Oh.
hey, shout out to Max Verstappen. He know what to do. He be
I
known for
knew it was
McLaren.
good, bro.
Super Max. Yeah, that's right. I'm a Lando hater. No. In all seriousness, that was a very boring race for the most part. It was a very good start. I enjoyed the tough racing in the beginning between Lando and Max, and also Oscar and Charles Leclerc. But outside,
Wait,
what's this
are we
guy
getting
doing?
it? Are we getting a Sergio Armani tribute? Like, what's going on here? Are we looking at his wardrobe?
That's
Does he know?
crazy. That's
Yeah,
crazy. No,
fitness, guys, fitness.
and also shout out to the three rookies of Kimi Bortoletto and Hadjo top 10. Yeah, man. So it was
Oh,
it was the perfect weekend for Max. So congrats to him. And yeah, there's not much else I could say about the race, but we'll talk about everything and more.
There is something
Ranveer,
I can. Okay.
I think we might have a new prediction king in town here. Random man himself. How you doing, bro? Hope everything's
Good,
okay on your
thanks.
side.
The only prediction I didn't get right was Albon finished eighth and ninth. He actually finished seventh. But Tom Stallard, Piastri's engineer, actually saved one of my predictions that Lando would finish second because Piastri and Lando swapped at the end there. So he saved my prediction there. But yeah, as I saw it coming, Verstappen would have too much pace for McLaren to deal with.
Liam and Augustia, you both doing good?
Hell yeah, we just witnessed the fastest ever Formula One race in history. 1 hour
Yeah.
and 13 minutes, 73
I enjoyed the
minutes.
race. It was fun.
I was very shocked to see the laps go by that fast. I was just like,
I mean,
just
it
sat there,
was
like, we've already got
Max.
30 something laps.
Yeah, Max Verstappen beats a Michael Schumacher record, right? He took the fastest ever qualifying time from Hamilton. Now he took the fastest ever race time from Michael Schumacher. He is just slaying every single record. You are witnessing greatness at its finest. And to finish 20, yeah,
No, finish.
to finish 20 seconds above the rest of the pack. Sure, those McLaren cars, this wasn't their optimal track. I understand that. I understand that with the speed corners and how their car is set up completely. But only he can dunk 20 seconds on that rocket ship. So kudos to him. And man, what is this his third or fourth win this year?
Third.
Third is nuts. Five poles, 3 wins.
Fourth win. No, I think fourth win. No,
I mean, the fact
unless you include sprints. Unless you include sprints.
Sure, whatever it is, with or without, the point is he is head and shoulders the best driver on the grid, and he is in a league of his own. And I'm going to say this again, King, and I feel vindicated every single time I watch Mr. Maximilian Verstappen. The gap between the best and the rest hasn't ever been this big. I'm going to reaffirm that statement.
Augustia, do you know what it was? I thought McLaren was going to go a no stop race. It got to the point where I was thinking they might do a no stop race. It got to like lap 45 or something. I was like, yeah, nah.
They didn't even mention it on the radio. They weren't considering doing a no stop.
What?
No, it's because
guys, this isn't an F1 open lobby. I don't like if they didn't
open lobby now.
They just be DQing themselves for no reason. So I don't really I don't see the incentive behind the no stop, guys. I understand wanting to make it competitive, but I just
because it got to the point where they almost attempted something unthinkable. You know what I mean?
Exactly, Augusta. See, that's what we meant. I mean, that's what he meant.
Okay, I don't know. I just guys, no stop. I don't see the incentive behind DQing yourself in a race, but you two can do whatever you want.
Thank you. We really appreciate it.
Liam, McLaren.
Well, what I'm gonna say is I'm happy with what we achieved today, and I'm happy that we did not get a DNF in the race. That's all I'm gonna say.
We had 2 DNFs.
No, 2. Yeah.
We had 2 DNFs.
No, we're not gonna talk about that.
I was outside the McLaren drivers, but yeah. That was still the DNF.
Unfortunately, but I didn't see where I wasn't focusing on Mercedes during the race as much. I was only focusing on Red Bull.
Actually, you know what? actually want to make that point. Mercedes, bro, I swear, like
They were shit.
how poor were the strategies this weekend? How poor have they been this weekend in terms of strategic? Because look at
Kimi finished P9. Oh god.
Yeah, Kimi was almost in the Kimi almost finished in the bottom half.
Both
It
of
almost
them.
got to he had to go with a battle and scrap between Ocon. It was between him and Ocon that they had to battle between 10th and 11th. So it kind of almost screwed Kimi's race and almost screwed George Russell's race, because don't forget George Russell was also in that he was in a battle and scrap between the bottom half as well. Don't forget.
Yeah.
It almost became the case. But obviously we'll start with Max Verstappen, Augustia. I know you're a huge fan of Max Verstappen.
Max Verstappen.
No, guys. Let me read something. While I obviously am very complimentary of Max Verstappen, he's not my favorite driver. Everyone knows how much admiration for Lewis.
I'm just taking the piss. Don't worry about it.
No. I am a big fan. I'm a fan of greatness. That's what I am. It's not glory hunting. I just appreciate greatness, and I don't want to discredit. I want to discredit champions as least as I can. But this was nothing shy of a masterclass. You can't spin it any other way. Sure, the track, in terms of his setup, Red Bull did have a fast car. There's no denying that. Of course, Yuki didn't perform well, but we all know how that Red Bull car is notoriously and infamously tailored towards Max than the second driver. But still, to put 20 seconds on McLaren is nothing short of remarkable. And I think what Max Verstappen did this weekend, it's one of his greatest race victories ever. I truly and I sincerely believe that. And do I think it puts it back on the map for the World Championship picture? No, I think it was more race specific. I think with the types of speed and the types of corners that are on this circuit, McLaren will bounce back. McLaren will be fine. It was more the exception rather than the rule. But it just goes to show: give Max a car within 2, 3, 4 tenths, he can easily put it on pole. He can easily win a race. So, kudos to Mr. Max Verstappen, and he just, as you guys say, he does the unthinkable and the unparalleled every single time we watch him.
Well, I think Gus is muted. No, did you finish your sentence, bro? I think you cut off a bit there.
No, it's just enjoy it, embrace it, because what Max Verstappen is doing is only rivaled by the likes of Senna, Schumacher, Hamilton, Fangio. I mean, this is peak of the power, peak of his pomp for one of the best drivers to ever exist.
King?
How can
Here
I
we
spin
go.
this?
Here we go. Get ready. He's smiling. Here we go. Get ready.
Somehow he's gonna spin a Max win.
He's gonna.
into
The
some
first thing is gonna be so Lando. Yeah, so Lando.
propaganda, bro.
No. I'm just gonna be open and honest. I agree with everything Augustia said in regards to Verstappen. For the most part, I wouldn't say it's his greatest victory, but I would say it is his greatest victory this season for me.
No, wait, sorry, I don't interrupt. I want to correct myself. I said one of his greatest victories. I don't think it's his greatest victory by far. Not even in the last year. So no.
Oh no, but I wouldn't even put it in his top 5. But I'd say it's his best this season in terms of everything that could go right for him this weekend. It went right. I think he broke the track record with his pole, and then he pretty much stayed in front and never looked back. The McLarens couldn't do anything with him. They tried to go long and then maybe go for softs, but that didn't even work out because the gap that he held over them two was superior. Obviously, the McLarens in terms of straight line speed aren't the greatest. Their car is built to be good in a certain specific type of corners that this race didn't provide. But yeah, Max was unbelievable. I did not agree with the swap between Lando Norris and Piastri at the end. I think they should have competed with each other. Me personally, I don't think it's Piastri's fault that that Lando Norris's engineers messed up, and I don't think he should have given the place back. For me personally, but team game and whatever, 3 points doesn't really matter too much to him when he's leading by 30. But it might mean something at the end of the year, so you never know. Outside of that, I don't think anything else really surprised me. I'm happy Hydro had a great race. Bortoleto with with a brilliant weekend as well. Obviously, Kimi Kimi's race was frustrating. He got a 5-second penalty at the end there, so that cost him a couple places. But yeah, nothing much else I can say. And in terms of as a Ferrari fan, what I expected, Charles just consolidated his 4th place. Did well to keep George Russell off his back at the in terms of the start of the race, and Lewis Hamilton with a decent drive to go from 10th to 6th, as high as he could possibly have gone. Maybe he could have caught 5th if he had maybe tried to do the undercut in terms of the pit stop. But outside of that, there was not really much else for Ferrari to do that for today. But yeah, man, great race from Max. Piastri will still be the world champion, and yeah, another great weekend of Formula One driving. But outside of that, yeah, I ain't got nothing to spin today. I had my great moment last week when Lando's engine or whatever went haywire and he got that DNF and Oscar won the race. So, hey man, as far as I'm concerned, Oscar's gonna become the champion, and yeah, I was right. Lando's a loser, and Oscar's a winner. And Max is not that much, and Max is not that much greater than the rest of the track because Oscar's gonna be the champion. He's gonna be the world champion. He's gonna be the best. Oscar season give me the reason. Yes.
Run views.
Max who?
Over to you, bro.
Max who? Anyway.
Verstappen cut the corner on the first lap because Norris squeezed him, but then he gave the position back, and then a few laps later he reclaimed it very fairly. As I said yesterday, straight line speed. McLaren was struggling in a straight line speed. That's why when Verstappen overtook him, he got DRS and he was 6/10 behind Norris, and then he overtook him in turn 1. But then he just controlled the race pace from there and then eked out of the gap. And McLaren were looking at him to see when he was going to change the tyres. His medium tyres started blistering, but then he was able to eke the gap out even more. And then he finally pitted for hard tyres, and then McLaren were in the window where they could get soft. So, and then when McLaren changed positions, when Piastri was 2nd and Norris was 3rd, and then they did the swap, I don't agree with that because right after they swapped, Tom Stallard, his engineer, said that you're free to race. But if you're free to race, why are you giving team orders to swap positions when the person in P1 is running 18 seconds ahead?
Liam?
Where should I start? I'm gonna say I'm not saying disappointed, but I was surprised by the fact that McLaren had to have both of their drivers switch towards the last lap of the race. But I'm trying to understand. I don't know why they did that. That's the only thing that I'm confused about regarding the whole race. I just need clarification on that as to what was the reasoning behind switching the 2 drivers. Was it to benefit Lando or was it just to benefit Oscar? I don't know.
Can I say? Oh, go ahead, Dave.
It's completely and utterly.
Sorry, guys. 1 minute. So, Fossey, I sent you the link. If you want to hop on, please do so, bro. Sorry, guys. Go on.
The reason they did that is sympathetic. That's it. It's merely for sympathy. That's it. And it has nothing to do with this weekend. I know Crofty, Martin Brundle, Nico Rosberg, everyone was on about the reason they did it is because Lando played the team game. He came in later, Oscar came in first. That wasn't the reason. I guarantee you, if he didn't have that engine failure last week, they don't do the swap. It was complete sympathy, subconscious sympathy from last week. That's my take. Because they must have felt bad that they compromised Lando Norris's race. And is that fair towards Oscar Piastri? Guys, logically, justly, no. No, it isn't. So I think if anything, what McLaren should have done is Lando should have come in a stop earlier because Max was already clear of the safety car window. So even if a safety car happened.
I'm surprised why they went so late, I was very surprised when McLaren took it to like the final few laps.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
They would have still got the 2nd and 3rd. They would have gained a lot more on the cars behind them, anyways, because at the end of the day, they're the faster car. They're gonna gain more, anyways, regardless whenever they pit stop. But to be fair with you, I think they played it safe. At the same time, I think they played it too safe, because they already knew that they secured 2nd and 3rd the way things were going. McLaren sort of picked up pace on Charles Leclerc and George Russell behind them as well. So at the end of the day, McLaren did what was right, but. It's Oscar and Lando who should have really got that place, but that's up to you guys to decide.
No, to me,
it's just a 3-point difference at this point.
Sorry, I guess you continue.
To me, I did think it was a little bit interesting quite questionable how Lando came in second, Oscar came in first, because there were 7, 8 laps remaining in the race, and then you have to factor. You need to make up around 2 seconds a lap on Max. You need to overtake him, and there's an out lap as well. And there's a lap where you need to warm up your tires, get them into optimal tire temperature. So for Lando to come in second, where he would have been vulnerable to Oscar Piastri because Oscar had a stellar stop anyways, right? Oscar's stop was 1.9 seconds. Lando might have been vulnerable to Oscar as well. So I just don't get the logic behind Lando coming in second. I didn't think that decision was the most ruthless or subversive of the status quo. But still, I mean, I can't fault the intent, I guess, of going on stops. But I think the whole thing wasn't executed as efficiently as it definitely could have been. Sorry, King, go on.
The only reason that I could see when it came to the team game is the reason why they pitted Oscar first is because in terms of what they saw in terms of the numbers, they probably thought that if they left it another lap for him, that maybe Charles might be an issue. Obviously Charles was pretty close at that point, even though they would have had different tires. It is still annoying to try and take over another car at Monza because you only really have one corner to do that. So even though he may have had a tire offset, Charles could have maybe defended it and ended up getting that third place over Oscar. So I think they probably saw the numbers and were like, no, if we actually do it based on who was ahead, if they did Lando first then Oscar, maybe then Charles comes in and causes an issue. And you never know what could happen at that point. If two cars are next to each other, they could crash, both could DQ, etc., which could mean, their comfortable second and third will be gone just like that. So maybe they tried to a very safe approach, but at the same time, once Lando's pit stop is messes up because of his engineers, then you just let them race after that, because Charles wasn't anywhere near at that point, and they're both on soft, so just let them race. But I guess in their mind they're thinking, oh no, because Lando did this for Oscar, Oscar has to do this for Lando. I scratch your back, you scratch my back, in a sense. But I think it's very soft in my opinion. But yeah, it is a straight. That's the only really talking point, because outside of that, it was just as you say, a master class. That's what you called it. So yeah, no, great race from Verstappen, and yeah, outside of that, there was not really much else to talk about. So, but yeah, I do feel that this is the issue that McLaren will have going into the new regulations, that they need to be a bit more ruthless in their decision making, and less about this teamy thing. Just let these guys if you're gonna let them race, let them race. You can't do half and half. Say one time, you can race, or one time team orders. It's either one or the other. You can't be team orders this way and then race and race. You gotta understand who you think your number one and number two drivers are, and which ones you're trying to actually help succeed. Because next season, and I think seasons going forward, when other cars have catch them up or on the same level as them, each of these teams are going to have a number one driver, and it's all good and well having two drivers that are similar level, but in the long run it doesn't work out. There's only going to be one winner out of them two of the driver championship, and they're going to have to decide who that driver is going to be sooner rather than later. Because if they keep allowing them to compete with each other, it just builds up tensions, and whoever wins the championship and whoever doesn't, those tensions are going to even increase even further. So they got to start deciding who they put as one and who they put as two, because you can see with Red Bull there's a clear one, and it helps them with strategy because they know every strategy is geared towards Max. If you look at, and for most teams it works. For the top teams it works better that way. If you're like a mid-level to lower level team, then you want two drivers that work together. A Williams, cool, because there's not really any issues with them having competing with each other, because you're just middle of the pack. You can afford that. But if you're at the top, when you're competing for the titles, the drivers championships, there needs to be a number one drivers in the elite teams. And I think the teams that don't have that, your Ferraris, your McLarens, it causes issues throughout the season that shouldn't be there. And it was the case with Ferrari when it was Charles and and Carlos, they were too hesitant whether to decide to swap players or to do certain decision makings, because they were like, if we do this it's wrong on them, but if we do that, it's wrong on him. You gotta make the choice. You gotta make the decision. Who's your number one guy, and stop dilly-dallying on it, because it's like more than halfway through the season. Who's your number one guy, and they still don't know. It's a bit of a one. It's one of them ones that if the season was a bit longer and Max had the car to win race after race after race, they both could lose the drivers' championship, because they're too busy trying to be nice to each other or be nice to each driver.
Swap races, you know what I mean? Swap turns in terms of who's going to be the lead driver today and next week and whatnot. And that's a headache that you have to put up with, because I've kind of felt the same with Ferrari at times, because 1 week they've kind of give Carlos Sainz the benefit of the doubt. I remember Silverstone in 2022, they gave Carlos Sainz the better car going into that day, and Charles Leclerc got done by his team. He got hard done by his team, because I remember he was leading the race and then Carlos Sainz just overtook him. I remember that race very, very well. Carlos Sainz had the better car, had the better tires as well. So they didn't give Charles Leclerc, who was in the drivers' championship at the time. They didn't give him the They didn't give him the help he needed, and that's what kind of costed him at times, because they kind of swapped. Oh, we're gonna give Carlos Sainz 1 week, gonna give Charles Leclerc 1 week. That's kind of a headache that you have to deal with in the team. You know what I'm trying to say. We have to deal with one driver and the next driver. That's what McLaren are going to go through right now. That's what McLaren fans are going to go through right now. You're going to have to deal with one driver, and then you have to deal with the next driver. And then I remember, Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez did it for a brief period. I think they did it for like a short period of time. I think back in 2023 or 2022. I don't remember what it was. But around that time, I remember Checo Perez was winning races, Max was winning races. It was back and forth. So it's a bit of a headache that you have to deal with one driver, then the next driver, and I agree with you, King, 100%, bro. It is a headache for sure. But I don't know if you might want to add anything as well to that. And obviously, Boston Blue's comment as well right here. He said, "Shout out to the kid. He's leading the championship for all team orders and is waiting for the debrief. They have been world champions with less sportsmanship who demand answers than there." I hear that. I hear that as well. Anyone want to add anything? Ranveer, you want to add something?
Piastri's pit stop was 1.9 seconds and Norris's pit stop was 5.9 seconds. And without that, Norris would have been ahead of him. Sure, there's a chance for him to race, but then Norris would have been ahead of him without that deficit that he lost because of the pit stop. And it was just as simple as tightening the wheel nut on the front left tyre, just a little bit more, and then he's on his way. But they sabotaged his pit stop, didn't tighten it enough. Then they realised they'd made a mistake. Then they actually gave the argument of Hungary last year when they swapped positions to give Piastri's first win. They gave that argument, but I don't think it stands because McLaren weren't going to challenge Red Bull, and it was just going to be an intra-team fight on the track. So I think they should have just kept it Piastri second and Norris third without any sympathy or anything, because that's what it was at the end of the day.
Gustia, you want to continue?
I agree with everything. I guess the only thing I can add to that is Oscar Piastri. I think he did the right thing because you are 31 points ahead in the championship. And at this stage, the last thing you need is to feel animosity between you and the team. And God forbid the championship becomes tighter. You don't want the team to start, prioritizing certain drivers or giving them underhand advantages. So I think Oscar absolutely did the right thing to preserve and conserve the team harmony. But at the same time, you are right, though. Like Max Verstappen, for example, he would have laughed it off. He would have been like, "Are you crazy? Are you delusional? Give me what you're smoking." Because it's a double-edged sword. But I guess, Ekman, that also plays into your point. Like, I want to ask you, because you obviously have this McLaren conspiracy theory, right? Where you believe that the team are prioritizing Oscar Piastri, they're sabotaging Lando Norris' season. I don't see that, because I think if they're going to prioritize any driver, it would be Lando, not Oscar, because Lando does better from a reach, revenue, commercial standpoint. He's been their poster boy. He's the McLaren's version of Charles Leclerc, the Mercedes version of Kimi Antonelli. But for you, I mean, maybe the last 2 weeks fuels your theory, right? Because obviously the engine failure and then the slow pit stop. So I guess if there is a conspiracy, maybe the dots are connecting.
The wrong pit timing, and obviously the mistake that the left wheel engineer made. the left front wheel engine they made by not screwing the tires in tight enough. You know what I'm trying to say? Because they put the tires on, but the tires weren't properly, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
screwed
because
on.
McLaren's pit stop crew are all about performance. I mean, they have protein shakes in the garage. They study so much about human performance, even their pit crew. So to have a slow pit stop just because you haven't tightened the wheel that tightly enough and lose 4 seconds on your teammate's pit stop, that's just dire.
Liam, I want to know your thoughts on the McLaren pit stop because you obviously are the McLaren fan for now, and then you might go to Aston Martin next year, and then the year after Ferrari, Mercedes, and whatnot. But as the current McLaren fan, I want to know your thoughts on the situation.
Dude, I'm surprised. I'm surprised you're not even like coming out thinking the Max Verstappen because man, you switch supporters fucking.
Oh, I
every
can,
season.
but then I'm gonna get bandwagon in the background. So,
Well, that's what
Yes,
you
true.
are, though. That's what you are, though.
well,
You're worse than
being a bandwagon was the best decision I made in my life.
This
But anyways.
guy's a Liverpool fan. He's a Liverpool fan, and man's hold up a PSG shirt yesterday. So, anywho, Liam, thoughts on the pit stop and
Well, the
what do you think?
only thing I would say that 5.9 second pit stop was, I don't know whether they did that on purpose, but I think it was if they would have the same pit stop time as the 1.8 seconds, then I think Lando still would have gotten P2 and Oscar still would have finished P3. I think, but I'm not really sure. I'm not confused, but I just don't know what to say because I'm happy with the result that we had and we've made in this race, but it's like to the point where I don't have anything much to say because okay, there were 2 DNFs in the race. Max got P1, but just because Max got P1 doesn't mean that he can perform like this again in the next coming races with McLaren being the dominant team this season.
What's the next race? Baku. Baku is a track that relies heavily on straight line speed. So
Yeah,
Next
that's
week?
straight line speed again.
no, it's in 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
If you're a Ferrari fan, you'll be lusting at that, right? Because Ferrari was super quick on the straights, super
Yeah.
slow in the corners. So
Yep.
This October.
McLaren-
Oh my
So if
God.
Red Bull run the same setup and you got Ferrari and Leclerc, Hamilton in the mix,
They're
could
gonna be
make for an
dominant.
interesting
Yeah.
race. Yeah.
Red Bull's gonna go crazy on the straight line speed in Baku street circuit. They're gonna go crazy.
Last year it was what Charles Leclerc versus or was it Carlos Sainz
Piastri
versus Oscar?
Piastri versus
Piastri.
Leclerc last year.
Piastri versus Leclerc, yeah, and then that was basically it. Last year, I think Charles Leclerc had the faster car, but
Yeah.
it was the turns that let him down. You know what I'm trying to say? He just couldn't overtake, and he kept getting closer and closer and closer. Just couldn't overtake.
No, he didn't want to.
It was the slow turns that he had in Baku, and the track kind of let him down at the same time last year. He could have won the race, but then again, the pit stop again. Like I questioned the hard tires that Ferrari love to they love to use. It lets them down every time. You know what I'm trying to
I mean, the
say?
hard tyres today, when Leclerc put him on, he was setting fastest lap after fastest lap. So he's
True.
actually been warming up tyres. Yeah.
But in general, I look at Ferrari as the better car on the medium tires. That's
Yeah.
what I always believe in. You know what I'm trying to say?
Well, so I think
But-
contextually, the reason Leclerc was setting the fastest lap was because the front runners they were on old
They're
tires,
on mediums. Yeah.
yeah, and also 30 lap old tires. So if Leclerc wasn't setting the fastest lap, I would be a bit surprised.
I mean, Russell was doing that as well. So yeah, what you said
Yeah.
was true.
It's a good point,
Yeah.
nonetheless.
Did Russell do like a 2-stop or a 1-stop? 1-stop. Yeah.
One stop. Yeah.
Yeah,
Everyone did a 1-stop, didn't they? Or some people did 2. I don't remember who did 2. Because I think it's the bottom half they did 2. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Oh,
Most grid did a one stop.
Carlos Sainz, as Kai mentioned here, Carlos Sainz, poor Mr. Smooth Operator. What do you think happened to Carlos Sainz today? Because this weekend was promising. It was promising for him. No, he had some good practices. He had some decent runouts with the car he had.
Mhm.
What do you think happened to his end result? Why do you think and what do you think was the cause? Renvi, I'll go to you first on this one.
I think when he got asked to swap positions at Albon, I think that just played on his mind, and then he was contesting with Behrman, and then Behrman just spun him around, so that just ruined his race. Because Albon was in 8th and he was 9th, so
I'll let King go first.
King go first.
Oh no, I agree with Ranveer. It was the Behrman incident that kind of ruined his race because they both spun around. Obviously, it was his corner, so he wasn't at fault. And that pretty much lost him any hope of getting into the points. It made sense at the time to do the swap because Albon was on the better tires, so you just you got to help your teammate. As I said, if you're a mid-level team, yeah, you do the team orders thing because you're trying to get as many points for the team as possible. But just for Swine specifically, yeah, the moment him and Berman had that clash, any opportunity he thought of getting points this race was gone, and because you lose a lot, from that spin, and also I think he lost a bit of his car as well, and I think did he have to pit afterwards? I'm not sure if he had to pit afterwards, but it just kind of ended signs after the spin.
I think he did one. I think he did one stop. If not
One
mistaken.
stop.
I think he did one stop.
Yeah, but he lost a bit of his car as well, so that means his car was compromised as well after that incident. So yeah, it was a double whammy. He got spun, and then he also lost a bit of his car, so he wasn't going to be able to get top 10. And yeah, and to be honest, Williams overall had not the greatest of weekends, and they have this issue in terms of qualifying of heating up their tires to the perfect condition. They both drivers have said this, that when they get 2 laps to really heat up their tires, they can be very quick. But if it's just 1 lap, yeah, that's why they missed out on Q3, both their cars. So that's an issue that they're gonna have to sort out by next season.
Liam.
One thing that I would say I'm going to quote, I'm not sure whether it was Max who said this, but Max quoted at the Dutch Grand Prix that they shouldn't be racing the Racing Bulls in the first place and that they should just be racing with the other teams. But I don't know what was the reasoning behind Max saying that they shouldn't be racing with their sister team at the Dutch Grand Prix. So I don't know if any of you guys know.
I'm so sorry.
Why.
I'm so sorry. What was the context there? Because
no, you can add on. You can add on, please. I'm not going to repeat myself.
I mean, I don't know if we're talking about Williams or Max, but Max racing the Racing Bulls, yeah, that's not going to happen much. Lauren Mekes is going to steady the ship for a bit. Red Bull will implement their philosophy. They'll come back to the top slowly but surely. They'll bring some short-term upgrades that are proportionate. And then when it comes to Williams, yeah, I agree. Williams, we all know they're waiting for next year and the year after that. That's what they're waiting for. Everything else is just acclimation, development, and advancement. That's about it. And it's disappointing for sure. It could have been a magical weekend for Mr. Smooth Operator. But I guess the only one that was smooth was Mr. Max Verstappen.
Yeah. Arguably one of the fastest races I think he's ever done as well. Because I remember that
is the fastest race in Formula One history.
He had that battle and scrap with Lando Norris at the start. Lando forced him off the track. He had to give the place back to Norris, and he had to fight back for first place. So you want to give credit to Max Verstappen on that, because from the get-go, Max Verstappen was right at it, but then again he was forced to give his place back, and then from there Max Verstappen upped his game, and that's why he deserved the win. He did what he had to do. He was the faster car. Sorry, what were you saying, Review?
It was a clean, fair overtake.
Yeah, it was as well, and I think they investigated the overtake between Hamilton on. Was it Hamilton on?
Bortoleto, was it?
Was it? I was Bortoleto, and then I think they investigated that because I think Hamilton went over the line. Did he go over the line or something? If that was why they
I didn't see that.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It was cleared anyways. It was an investigation for something that Lewis Hamilton did while overtaking Bortoleto, I think in P8.
I think Bortoleto's manager, not Fernando Alonso, but Kai Talks, he can tell us.
Yeah, I agree.
Williams.
Sorry, wait. Hold on. Go back. Last comment if you can here.
This one.
No, the Albon comment. Albon and Bortoleto to Mercedes. Do you mean both of them? Would you replace both Russell and Antonelli for these two? because that's like a red hot
think
Carlos.
I think that's what he means, to be fair.
That's
Albon and Bortoleto to Mercedes. Either he's taking the piss or
I
he's,
don't think
I don't know what he's
Mercedes will be
smoking.
ready to sign these guys. I don't think they want to sign these guys.
it's not gonna.
I agree with the Bortoleto to Merc. That could happen
But with
eventually.
Albon, I don't agree.
But Albon's in a good seat right now. I don't think he needs to go anywhere.
He's not.
I think he's in the perfect situation for him, alongside Sainz in the Williams. I don't think, for me, if I'm Albon, you've got 70 points this season, more than Kimi. You're pretty much the best of the rest driver. Your Williams is what, fifth in the constructors, and the only way they're gonna go is up. So for Albon and Sainz, I think they're chilling. For Bortoleto, yeah, I feel like he does deserve a move to a bigger team, because we see the potential in him. We see the good results he's happened, and also he's out qualifying Hulkenberg, which is crazy to do at his age, because he's going up against a veteran, and Hulkenberg is no slouch. So he's out qualifying him. He's getting good race points as well. So Bortoleto in a better team at some point will be something I would like to see, but I don't know if that's going to be possible, because there's not many seats left, and a lot of these teams are very sentimental with their drivers. I'd be a bit more ruthless. A certain man would go, you know who I'm talking about, but I'm, I don't want to start another argument.
Oh, you mean Lewis?
Start.
You mean Lewis Hamilton and Fernando Alonso and Max? They're not ruthless enough, right? Like, they should follow Lando Norris because he's the god.
He's smiling. Oh, he's smiling.
No. I mean the likes of Lando Norris, Charles Leclerc, George Russell, etc. would get moved on for me.
Surely not.
In
This comment is pissing me off right now.
Guys,
This guy is taking the piss, bro. I'm sorry, guys.
I've said this for many months. Lewis Hamilton's my greatest of all time.
Max is better than Lewis. Hello, 7-time world champion, bro. Hello.
No,
Max is only 4-time world champion.
One sec.
Sorry.
Yeah, but if you put Max in that car, he's a 7-time or 6-time.
Guys, wait, hold on.
Ladies.
No, I don't interrupt. Let me clarify. I said Lewis is my greatest of all time. Ability, accomplishments, apex, career impact, the combination of all of them. He's my greatest of all time. But best is like best in terms of ability. I'm taking Max Verstappen. Ran the man, we talked about this, the Eddie Jordan quote. Niki Lauda himself said this. Jensen Button said this.
Rosberg.
So, like, literally almost every high-level professional has implied that Max is the most complete racing driver ever. And I agree with you, Kai. I've said this before, and I'll say it again here. He is the best driver ever, in my opinion. He's the best driver I've ever witnessed. But Lewis Hamilton is still my GOAT, though, for sure here.
I don't know. Oh, that's me in it. Oh, I don't. This is a whole video that we could do. I will say this. Max is the best driver right now. But in terms of what I've seen, for me, he's top 5. Anywhere in that 5, will you have him? I will respect it, because there's been some elite drivers, but the 5 that, in terms of what I've seen in my lifetime, Schumacher, Vettel, Alonso, Hamilton, Max, you can have those 5 in whatever order you want, because in the end of the day, it's opinion. But yeah, so those are the 5 that I would say are the greats that I witnessed, because you know what makes someone better, makes someone a great, is when you give them a race-winning car and they dominate. And those 5 dominated with race-winning cars. So those are the 5 for me. Everyone else is not on their level in terms of since 2000 to now. And yeah, you can just.
Lando Norris ain't on a level.
No.
I don't know what he has against Lando. I just don't
worry about it. No, but I agree. I mean, I think we can have a whole debate about this. I just think among all drivers, at least I've seen, 21st century, I think that Max has the least holes in them. And if you want to stretch it back, like Senna and Schumacher, we talk about recklessness. They have thrown championships because of recklessness. Max hasn't. So, and just as a pure driver, ability-wise, he reminds me of Alcaraz and Sinner in a way. I just don't see many holes, if any holes I can identify with. And when he's had the fastest car, he's dominated percentage-wise, I think, better than almost anybody else. When he hasn't had the fastest car, he's also outperformed it, at least better than Lewis, better than Seb. Alonso's debatable, I would say probably. And in the 21st century, obviously, Schumacher was in that Ferrari rocket ship. So I'm picking Max as my best driver ever personally here. But each to their own. I mean, you can do it in dry, you can do it in wet, you can do it mixed conditions. I mean, Brazil 2016 was it all the way to this Brazil 2024 and the special races he has. He is just defying the odds and becoming the bar itself.
No, I would say this. Max does have one flaw. He does get a bit angry at times, and he has been very overly aggressive as a driver. So
Yeah,
I
that's
showed
the
us
one
that
thing
in
that he's
Schumacher.
flaw in him. He's aggressive.
Yeah,
He tends to swear
but
too much.
if we're comparing him to Lewis Hamilton, who Lewis Hamilton's never been an aggressive driver in
Yeah, he's never done that.
at any point.
But he's
The one
he's
thing
had
about Lewis,
incidents
always-
though. Lewis,
he's always been humble about his wins, and he's always been professional. You know what I'm trying to say? That's one thing about Lewis Hamilton he has over Max. He's got the professionalism. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
No, no,
and Lewis was racing for world titles from the start.
Yeah.
His first season.
Max Verstappen had to drive in. What was it? What did he start off with? What was it?
Toro
Rosso.
Rosso.
Or Russell.
But
Signed
guys,
as a teammate.
but guys,
and he was given the Red Bull seat by default, in my opinion.
Yeah.
but also I have this controversial take on Lewis here. I'd love to hear Brandon Man especially here. I think Lewis's peak in terms of driving probably early on in his career. And even coming into Formula One and those first few years, that was almost Lewis Hamilton peak. Of course, he's shown it.
Yeah.
Like 2018 was a great year for Lewis Hamilton as well. But that was when he was, as a racing driver, I think in pure pace, the quickest. Whereas Max is just becoming more complete as his career goes on.
Oh, that's cool. Uh-oh.
Regarding Mercedes' contract situation, Russell and Antonelli aren't tied down for next year. They're still
I don't know.
negotiating.
We don't know
They
what's happening.
signed the contract. They literally signed the
I won't be
contract.
surprised if
No,
Antonelli gets
but
demoted.
when I went on Google, it says that they're still negotiating.
I think it's
I won't
George Russell. I don't think it's Kimmy.
It's both.
I won't be surprised if Antonelli gets demoted next season. I won't be.
Yeah, because he's 18, or he was 18 when he first got the seat. He's 19 now.
If he would
think
get
they put him
demoted,
that seat
where would
too
he
early.
get demoted to? Which team would
Alpine.
he get demoted to? Oh
No,
my!
I'm not saying demoted out of F1. I'm just saying.
Oh, don't do that to the kid. Come on, you just got an F1.
No, I agree.
No.
There have been guys. There have been many rumors, credible rumors,
think-
suggesting he'd go to Alpine. So that's what's going to happen.
I backed Kimi at the start, but now I just think he's tailed off a bit. Since
Yeah.
what was that race again? I think it was in Spain that he had that he's not been good since that
Yeah.
race. I think he had that issue in Spain. I think ever since then he's not been the same. And I think he crashed out in Italy as well last time as well. I think he crashed out in Emilia Romagna as well last time.
He got so pissed.
Do you think he'll take Bottas's role as Mercedes reserve driver? Because
I think he-
Antonelli, he had a great start to his Formula One career. That race in Melbourne where it's wet, he finished fourth, where all the other rookies crashed out, even Alonso crashed out. So that was a great way to start his career. He takes sprint pole for Miami, but ever since then, he hasn't performed to where you think a Mercedes car should be.
It's gonna be
I don't
Norris
think-
lead.
I don't think so.
Yeah, guys, I don't see Kimi Antonelli leaving Formula One. He is more than capable of being in the sport. And I don't see him being a reserve driver because you don't want to Drugovich him. You don't want to have him take a backseat for so long, whereby he becomes an unappealing asset for a team to have. And I think there is a big chance he stays with Mercedes. But again, it's not even about whether he stays. I think if Mercedes had a viable alternative, like a Max, they would do the swap. But because the driver market is very, very thin, I think Kimi Antonelli will be there. But if there was a replacement, a suitor, and a reinforcement, there would absolutely be a chance that he goes to Alpine and somebody else takes his seat.
I don't agree. I don't agree with the Alpine situation. I think that would waste his career because you're going to
Yeah.
a team that aren't
Oh, I
serious.
agree.
It's just going to waste him. Put it this way: if Max is available for Mercedes, I get rid of George Russell. You have
I
to think about the future, not the current. Kimi's the future. We all know this, right? Him, Bortoleto, Hadjar, they're greats. They're gonna be here in the sport for the next 10 to maybe even around 10 years at least minimum. George is someone that can be replaced because because in his generation he isn't the best. The best in his generation is Max. So if Max is available, you get rid of George, you keep Kimi, you allow Max to teach Kimi. That's the best situation for Mercedes if that does arise. I don't think it would be very smart to put Kimi in the Alpine. That would just waste his time. I don't think it would be smart for you to have him as the one to get rid of, as you understand him as the next guy that you think is going to be a world champion caliber driver, and he has that potential. For
If
me,
Antonelli, sorry mate.
no,
Yeah.
go ahead.
If Antonelli goes to Alpine, that is a team with no set trajectory. Whereas if the rumors are true, Mercedes have the championship winning car next year, the championship winning engine. So put Russell and Antonelli in that is their preferred seat to be in because they know the team inside out, and the car next year is supposedly the best. So
Mhm.
if
Yeah,
I was Russell and Antonelli, I'd be negotiating as hard as possible to try and be in that seat next year.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I think the other thing is, if Antonelli was to get demoted, I think the only place he should be demoted to is Williams. That's it, and that's not going to happen because their driver pairing is robust.
I was thinking as well. I think George should go to Williams. I think that's the perfect team for him to go to if he leaves
George.
Mercedes.
No, I think if Max comes to Mercedes, George should go Aston Martin.
Aston Martin, yeah.
Oh God.
yeah.
Oh no.
He should replace Stroll. And
No.
I'm still pulling for this Christian Horner, Max Verstappen reunion. Aston Martin, that's not going to happen.
I don't know.
Nowadays.
The thing is, I guess, yeah, I think Williams are kind of on the upward trajectory right now, and that's why I think bringing a driver like George Russell might just boost their brand a lot more. Might just boost him, because obviously Williams is a UK based car. So
No, I don't think
So
that would
why
be good
would-
to change that
why-
partnership.
Why would George go back to Williams when he's in the premier UK team? I don't get that.
Premier
Yeah. And it doesn't work for Williams either because they've got two great drivers. They've got two drivers that one in Carlos that can win races if you give him the car. He's shown it. And another one who's, as I said, has been the best of the rest. He's even beaten Carlos this season. So that shows how good Albon is. He comes from the Red Bull Racing camp, and their drivers are elite. And you've seen that with him. You've seen that with Gasly. So
yeah, and
George-
Albon's been there from the gutter, where Williams were not scoring many points at all. He scored 27 points in 2023. So he's been there since Williams were in the gutter, and now they're on an upward trajectory with James Vowles.
Yeah. So if George does leave Mercedes, that does happen, Aston Martin's probably the only place he goes.
Yeah.
And him and Alonso are good mates.
Yes,
Guys,
that would make sense.
Yes, but
Yeah,
Liam, to get back to Fosse's comment earlier, there was a question really that he asked us. We haven't answered that yet. Just to go back, I think he asked us whether if they picked Lando first, would they have got proper drivers? Can you find it?
Wait, I'm trying to find that comment.
Wait, if
If
they pitted Lando first,
If Norris came ahead of Piastri after the pit stop and there were no
Hey,
team
yo,
orders,
Ekevin, that's crazy, bro.
I'm just reading.
Nothing.
Yo, if Norris came ahead of Piastri after the pit stop, no.
would Piastri have overtaken Norris? That's asking. If they pitted Norris first.
Honestly,
Sorry.
if you ask me, you could see that in my opinion, I would say that Norris here was the faster driver compared to Piastri. That's all I'm gonna say. I mean, Piastri might have overtaken Norris, but in my opinion, Norris was the faster driver.
Yeah.
Norris had track position. If there was a conventional pit stop, he would have
Piastri had
stayed.
no chance to overtake. Just saying.
No, if the pit stops just went as normal, he would have stayed second anyways.
He would have stayed.
Exactly, yeah.
yeah. And
would've
Piastri's
been a
race was
bit of a
compromised
shout.
by his no, go ahead, Ranveer.
There would have been a bit of a shout where Piastri's behind him that he would be able to challenge him, but I think Norris would have stayed second even without the team orders because he just had that race pace.
Yeah. But got compromised from his battles with Charles. I think that's the reason why. That lost him a lot of time in the early goings in the race as well. You have to remember that.
True.
That allowed for Lando and Max to pretty much disappear from him because he was too busy competing with Charles. So that lost him a lot of time.
What did Behrman do? Why is he 2 points away from a race ban?
It's accumulated. So
Yeah.
The
there
penalty.
must be a bunch of incidents he's been involved in throughout the season or
Yeah,
whatever.
don't even get me started on Max with his aggressive driving and race bans.
Yeah, but they never give out race bans anyway. They
Yeah.
always chicken out on that stuff. The only person they've given a race ban to was what's his name? Not Hulkenberg, his partner in crime that 1 year.
Magnussen.
Yeah,
Magnussen.
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
him.
that was a disaster.
Yeah,
But
But did
Magnussen.
you see early on Russell and Bortoleto were competing for fifth? Bortoleto
Yes.
had a very strong race, finishing 8th.
Mm. Yeah, Ortolo is a great driver. I think he has the
He's-
potential to be in a better team, but is there going to be the seats available for him? I don't know.
I think maybe just give him more time for the top teams to look at him a bit more, assess him a bit more.
He
Give him more time.
looks. I could genuinely see Bortoleto in a Red Bull here. I could see him in a Ferrari. I could see him in a Mercedes. McLaren, I don't. Just
Red Bull would be pushing it. I don't think.
He was a McLaren Academy driver that had to release him from there to go to Sauber.
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Oh wait,
But-
wait! I forgot. They're going to be Audi next year, so he might actually
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
be in a good position.
They have potential because they've
Mm.
got the Qatar Investment Authority. They've got unlimited funds, so I don't see why on paper they've got Jonathan Wheatley. So I don't see why on paper they should be dished out of the championship fight. But obviously, F1's a very, very hard sport to go to, and
Mm.
unlike anything that Audi have competed in before. So we'll see what happens.
I don't know if
It
it's dished out of the championship fight. It's more, do they have the credentials to be in it? And I think it would obviously be a big. It's ambitious. I think it would be ambitious to pick them, but I agree with you. It's a good point here, for sure.
Yeah. So
For sure.
he's got a good couple years with Audi to see if they do something for him.
And if another team joins the grid, say Hyundai a few months ago put a silhouette of a Formula One car on Instagram. So who knows if the 12th or 13th team joins the grid?
I don't think it.
Because Hyundai are leaving the World Rally Championship, so I don't see why they can't focus their
But do you
resources
think-
towards
Do you think
Formula
the
One.
CEO? Do you think the CEO of F1 is really going to add and allow another team, new F1 team?
They're entering
Cal-
WEC next year, so
Of
They're already
course.
adding an 11th team next year.
yeah, Cadillac.
No, but I mean after, like in 2027, 2028.
No.
Absolutely. I 100% see it, man.
Yeah.
Dude, this sport is cash is king, just like most things.
But-
I can
100%.
But
see
I
it, sure.
there's so many races where there's hardly any overtakes.
Mm.
So the spaces will be taken up, and especially when you look at Monaco, you could
Monaco
be
is.
one lap ahead. You could be one lap ahead already, and there won't be much space to overtake. You get what I'm trying to say? I think it might be a disadvantage for the smaller tracks. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
It might be a disadvantage. I think they need to add more. What do you call spacious arenas? You know what I'm trying to say? Like I think
Yeah,
South
more
Africa
space.
should have a race. I think they need to go to like South America a lot more. You know what I'm trying to say? There needs to be
Preach.
more space in the track. If you want to add more cars, you want to add more teams, you cannot have races like Monaco there. You cannot have races like Singapore there. And I love Singapore. Trust me, Singapore.
For Monaco,
Singapore's
Wait,
I
great.
would say they should update the track. They should make the Monaco track more wider. They should just upgrade the layout of Monaco.
No, but
somehow.
Liam, the
How
problem
can
is
they upgrade the layout in Monaco?
a lot of
Demolish
it.
the buildings.
Yeah, but
it's
people
street
live there, so
No,
are they really
no.
going to change the track? Sorry, mate.
Yeah, Liam, have you ever considered going into politics, man? I think it's for you.
No,
It's a good
please,
idea, bro.
no.
I just think it's a great idea. If you want to demolish buildings, it's a good idea. bro.
Demolish all the buildings, build the wall with the USA flag. No, I can't. No, I'm sorry. I
That's a
can't.
great idea. Do it, bro.
No, I can't. I can't
But-
devote my
just-
life to politics.
Just get back to my point earlier. As I was saying, a lot of the races are street circuit races. Like Singapore is a street circuit.
I
Monaco
love
is a street
Singapore.
circuit.
Madrid next year.
You need
Oh,
yeah, Madrid next year as well. This is what I'm trying to say. If you're gonna have street circuit races, have spacious street circuit races. Not these races where you hardly have overtakes. Abu Dhabi, I like Abu Dhabi. Trust me, Abu Dhabi is a great race to participate in, but there's not enough to overtake. There's not an overtaking zone. Qatar as well, another one. Hardly an overtaking zone. I'm surprised these countries are what do you call high
end.
like what do you call
Lucrative.
Mm.
yeah
Yeah.
They're they're top countries with a lot of money. They should definitely upgrade the space on the track for sure.
The Qatar circuit was originally meant to be the motorcycle racing circuit.
The Lusail circuit, isn't it?
Yeah, the Lusail, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but again,
they need to
guys,
upgrade more. If you're gonna add more teams, then there needs to be more space on the track. They need to move to a new arena or at least rebuild, because it's not gonna be enough for cars to race. You know what I'm trying to say?
I mean,
That's
it'll make
that's
it
my
it'll make it more interesting in terms of pit traffic for sure. Like when you talk about pit
Sure,
windows, cars
but
coming
I
out.
guess my point is so many cars on when, for example, if Max was leading the race, he could be one lap ahead of the car, like way behind him, and it would be very less space to compete. You know what I'm trying to say? There could be like a long traffic at the back of the line as well.
But
You know what I'm
Ekavin,
trying to say?
I 110% agree with everything you were saying here. The issue is cash is king. Cash is the currency of the
Yeah.
sport, and they're gonna pick countries that provide them the most lucrative tourist
no.
opportunity,
Then
but also
I'm
exposure.
not saying bin those countries. Upgrade the tracks.
But
Upgrade.
but like you said, that's not a priority. That's a secondary priority. The first priority is whatever makes us the most buck.
Only if you're adding more teams, though. That's my only issue. If you're adding more teams, you're gonna add 2 or 3 more teams in future races. Then there has to be upgrades. Otherwise, you will not have space to compete. It'll just be straight line racing throughout the whole. And especially
Can I add to it?
yeah,
your point?
I'll finish this point first. Also, don't forget in wet races as well, safety cars. Following the safety car, then you've just wasted a whole like few laps. You know what I mean? With all the cars you have on the grid, you should definitely have more track space. If you're gonna add more teams,
Hold
you know
up.
what I'm trying to say.
Hey, Kevin, I don't want to interrupt. I need to go for a few minutes. How long do you plan on streaming?
Just about 15-20 minutes. I think we'll wrap up.
Okay, then I might be able to come back after. But guys, I'll see you in a bit. Okay.
No worries,
Yeah.
no worries. Augustine. Take care.
In a bit.
You wanted to add something, bro?
Yeah, I think in terms of that, I think what the F1 and FIA can do is change the parameters of the car. So obviously next season they've got new things adding to the car. They're removing DRS. They're trying to make the cars quicker. They're trying to make it so that it's easier to overtake and things of that nature. I think even if you reduce the size of the car, I feel like a lot of the problems that we have with these tracks is the cars are too big. If you watch like F2 and F3, they can go 2 wide or 3 wide just because of the size of the cars. I think with Formula One, they need to respect the cars so that it makes it easier to overtake, easier to compete, smaller in size, so that you can have a bit more, entertainment in terms of the tracks that we say aren't racy, like the Monacos, etc. Any track that is road based or based on real actual roads, they can't change that because obviously people live there, etc., etc. So a lot of the street circuits are just going to stay the same. They can only make minor changes or in terms of Monaco, use different streets, but they want to have the Riviera. They want to go under the tunnel.
It's the view, isn't it?
Yeah, because if you actually looked at Monaco, there's other streets where you could create a circuit there, and it would be a much more entertaining circuit. But because of the money, the parties, they want the yachts and the view, and so there's different things that stop them from making certain tracks better. But the one thing about Monaco I will say is that at least the qualifying is entertaining. I want one or the other. Sometimes you can get both, but at least if the qualifying is entertaining, at least then I'm good with that. But yeah, I feel like the specs of the car has to be the ones that they tweak the most in order to make it more competitive. Because I think this year, even though the cars are closer, it's a lot harder to overtake because of how much overspeed you need to overtake, and that's the biggest issue. That's the thing that they need to deal with.
My point is that you go look at like I said, races in Qatar, Singapore. There are overtaking zones, but you have to be near perfect to get an overtake, and that's the biggest issue. And this is why I say Singapore, Qatar are not the issues. I don't think Singapore and Qatar are the issues. It's the spacing of the tracks and it's the spacing of the streets that they're using. You know what I'm trying to say? I think Singapore can only do what they could do. I'll be honest with you. I'm the only country I'm thinking at is Qatar here. Qatar has enough capital to make a better spacing on the track. to increase spacing, to add a better, sort of track space, to be able to add more teams, to be able to compete better. Same with Abu Dhabi. Same with, I think, not Baku. Baku's fine. I think Baku, you have overtaking zones, no problem. Monaco, they're using street circuit, and as King mentioned, they want to get that area because it's the view that they have. But if they scrap sentiments and just go according to actual streets, I think Monaco could be up there in terms of races, because if Monaco has space to compete, Charles Leclerc had literally one straight line ahead of him a couple of years ago. He had one straight line ahead of him. Even Max Verstappen, even Lando Norris had one straight line to compete. All you have to do is finish on the podium, on pole. You have to get podium, and that's it. You've secured it, because you're not going to get overtaken even in the tunnel. No matter how slow or fast your car is, you ain't going to get overtaken. The tunnel is not that spacious as well. You know what I mean? It's a location and the sentiment, rather than actual, giving any effort into investing better streets and better spacious tracks. I'm trying to say. That's just my thoughts on that. If you want to add more in the future, you got to add space, because if you're going to add more teams, and that's the only way forward, man. That's my opinion. But I don't know if you want to.
Oh, I just found something for Kimi Antonelli. For the FIA, they just released the reason for his infringement in the race.
I know if you want to say something first, and then Liam can go afterwards.
So F1 is a franchise sport. Obviously, cash is king. Cadillac had to pay $450 million to join Formula One, and that's just their fee to become a constructor. I think if there's as many teams as possible in F1, I think that's good, because you've got F2 talents, F2 champions like Mick Schumacher, Theo Porsche, Felipe Drugovich, all out of a seat. And I think if you get manufacturers like Hyundai or BMW or other manufacturers that are competing in other industries, other motorsports, obviously every manufacturer wants to be in F1, but some don't have the capital. Obviously the Hyundais of the world, they have the capital to join F1. But I think the car, the length of the car and the size of the car, the width of the car, I think that's too much of an issue. These F1 cars currently are over 5 meters long. That's a Mercedes S-Class. And WEC races at most of the circuits on the F1 calendar. So you got Interlagos, you got Colta, and you got Bahrain, and you got Qatar as well. And they have no issue going free abreast at corners. So I think if you just slim down the F1 cars, they say it's for safety, but with the materials and engineering we've got today, you can make F1 cars safe today, and you can make it smaller. And you've got stuff like the halo and the roll hoop, so safety is an issue if you just make the cars smaller, because in the 2010 seasons there was 13 different teams on the grid. So as Graham Loudon, the current team principal of the Cadillac team, he said there should be as many different teams as possible in F1, and it's a world championship after all. So I think if you can find a way to make the cars smaller, we should find a way to make the cars smaller. Then we should be able to get as many teams on the grid as possible. I don't think it's a specific issue with the circuits, because Singapore street circuit, Baku street circuit, Monaco street circuit, that's just, you're tied within the parameters of the street, because people use that for their day-to-day living. But these other circuits, I think you should be able to go 3 wide or 4 wide at corners and be able to compete and actually overtake.
Fair enough. Augustia, obviously we just mentioned about the track and everything, like I mentioned, Monaco. If they scrapped the sentiment of the view and everything in Monaco and made it actual road, proper street racing somewhere in another location, they could be up there in terms of like F1 races every single year. I'm trying to say top F1 races every single year. We were just talking about that before you went off.
I mean, it's common sense. If they prioritize competitiveness over commercial value, dude, this sport could be box office every week. You could attract a such larger demographic of sporting fans. So, man, this is a big shout.
Salute to my time man as well. That's an opponent as well.
Hell yeah,
Absolutely
but
killing it in F3 right now.
Yeah, he's been winning. He's been winning a couple races lately, hasn't he? Yeah, he has
Yep,
been
he
remarkable.
won Silverstone as well. He won in Silverstone.
Yeah, I mean, it was impressive. I think it was reverse grid, but still, nonetheless, take nothing away.
Reverse grid. Oh,
It was super, super impressive. Now, to your point, I missed a bit of the show, but if they prioritize competitiveness over commercial value, my goodness, you could widen your reach, you could widen your fan base incredibly highly. Because, man, Formula One weekend, imagine we had Silverstone, Interlagos, imagine we had those type of races every week. It would be box office, and we'd have more impetus and urge to spread the sport. Be like, yo, come watch this sport. Whereas for a neutral, if you're watching a race and you're like, why is he 40 seconds ahead? Why is there no overtaking on the track? Why is there no action? So I think, yeah, if you can easily expand your reach from a sporting fan perspective, but you have to prioritize competitiveness over commercial value. Now, are they going to do that? Obviously not.
Because I guess sorry, finish. You're good. Finish.
No. Please carry on.
No, I was just gonna say you make a good point there because once you add more drivers from a certain country, it adds more fans as well. It's a better market in that country. You're gonna market F1 in that country. For example, go to Brazil, go to South Africa. You bring drivers in from South Africa, Brazil. All of a sudden, the market in those countries become top notch because you bring in drivers from countries that are not so F1 central. You know what I'm trying to say?
So wait, Ekevin, are you suggesting real quick they should be like the FIA should push teams to hiring drivers from different backgrounds, ethnicities?
I'm saying bring in more drivers from other parts of the world because you look at it this way. There might be a hidden gem from South Africa, might be a hidden gem from Brazil, might be a hidden gem from Asia, like Australia, for example, maybe Philippines, for example. You just never know. But mostly, if you look at the F1 drivers, they're British, Australian,
European.
there's Spanish. They're so European central. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? It's hardly ever looked at in terms of even the USA. There's hardly any drivers from the USA. And look at how many F1 races there are in America per year. You know what I'm trying to say? So,
I agree.
My point is that make it more marketable in terms of countries that are not really F1 central. Thailand has links to F1 because of Alex Albon, because of Red Bull, and everything like that. That's why Thailand is market. That's why Thailand's bringing F1 to Thailand. That's why they bring it to Thailand. The F1, Singapore. You know what I'm trying to say? These top countries have.
Sure.
There might be a driver from these countries that you just never know about. You know,
so I think
it's not as marketable enough.
That's the point. Sorry. I think it's more two things. It's one, accessibility, and also commercial branding. That's it. I don't think you need to mess up with the grid and how teams select their drivers. Of course, there's the influence of corporate interest and corporatocracy, whatever you want to call it. But at the same time, we don't want to jeopardize meritocracy for diversity of ethnicity. That's a gray area. We don't want to start hiring people based off because they're a certain nation. But at the same time, when the argument against that would be, hang on a minute, there's so many Nepo babies in Formula One as it is. It's a very closed elitist sport. So I think it just is about accessibility. I think that's what it fundamentally stems down to. You need to have more access into getting into Formula One. Because to get into Formula One, you need to be from a super upper class, wealthy, rich family with connections as well. That's what you need to have to get into Formula One. Otherwise, everything is the lottery. And you just need to have more access and opportunities across the world. You need to invest into lower economic communities, and expand your access. That's what needs to be done here.
Can I add to that?
Yes.
Yeah, sure. And then Liam, you want to mention something about Kimi as well, yeah?
The two things I'll say. The reason why there's multiple tracks in America is because F1's run by an American brand in Liberty Media, so they wanna expand in the country that they're from. So it's not really in particular reason why there's many tracks. It's not because of fan base, because the fan base in America isn't that big. It's got bigger because of Drive to Survive and them having races there, but most times when you see the celebrities in those American tracks, they don't even know anything about the drivers or that. They're just,
they're just there for the vibes. I mean,
cough, Shaquille O'Neal.
They're there for the day out. They've been, handed a free pass, and they're just talking nonsense. And in terms of drivers, I think the biggest issue with the diversity of drivers. It comes from the ground level, which Gustia talked about, and it's go-karting. I think go-karting in itself is a very unaccessible sport to most people with poorer backgrounds. I think go-karting is where most of these race drivers start, right? They start from there and then they move on to the bigger thing. So go-karting is the thing that should be more invested in terms of, you know, having free lessons or giving more young people a chance to actually enter it, whether they be female, people of color, people of different countries. But because go-karting is such an expensive thing to have, you have to buy the go-kart, you have to actually go pay for the lessons, etc., etc. Meaning the only people that regularly go-kart are those of upper class. So it's not just getting into the formulas, it's just actually starting racing from a young age. In order for you to make that kind of trajectory, you have to have money behind you from the start, because that's difficult to even. That's why someone like Lewis Hamilton is so unique, because of his background. It's just like once in a million. It's very rare you're going to see that, and you're going to see a lot of nepotism and a lot of money makers in the sport. But just from the start, you need money, and that's the thing that you need to work on is making karting more accessible to everyone. But I understand that it costs a lot
Liam.
Can I just real quick?
as well.
That's
Yeah,
gonna be that's gonna
Liam
be
bring
the
up.
So I completely agree with you. But even Lewis Hamilton's story, as much as Hamilton is rags to riches, it is beyond inspiring, empowering, especially how he transcended the racial barriers. Like, he is inspiration personified. Even his was based on connections, right? The connection with Ron.
Ron
Connections.
Dennis. Yeah.
And that's what most people don't have access to whatsoever. So it's
Yeah.
just access. They need to expand access. It's not about changing the grid. It's access and the influence of corporatism within the sport here. That's one other thing they need to fix.
Yeah.
Yeah. With how the sport is going, say money wise, you have to build a reputation with a constructor like the Red Bull Academy, Williams Academy, Ferrari Driver Academy. You will. I don't think there'll be a story ever again where you get a Raikkonen or a Vettel or Alonso or a Hamilton where the driver has come from a poorer background and made it in Formula One, become a world champion. I don't think that can really happen nowadays because of the capital you need for karting, and then you have to go to single seaters, and then you have to go to Formula Two, which costs 2 or 3 million euros a season if you want to get into a championship fighting car. So I think that, yeah, if there's a Carlos Slim that can help a Mexican driver like Checo Perez get onto the grid, then
Yeah.
maybe there could be someone like that from a different country, like from Asia or Africa or South America, a different country other than Brazil in South America, for one of their drivers to come in the grid.
Yeah, but you see the problem with that is, and I agree with you talking about it, everything based on how the system is set up. That's just going to completely expand corporate influence, right? So if you talk about Asia, you get a Mukesh Ambani, for example, right? Famous Indian billionaire. He can just basically give someone a golden ticket into Formula One because of those connections. So it just destroys merit. But then I guess Formula One is inherently elitist anyway. So what difference does it make? So it's just, I don't know. There just needs to be regulation on Formula One.
Is this the same Ambani you're talking about that had the biggest wedding of all time?
Yep,
Yeah.
that's his son.
Let's make. Sorry about that.
Ambani.
I wish I was
Ambani.
invited to that wedding. Would have got 60k
Oh,
AP watch for free.
Oh yeah.
no, they invited like Justin Bieber and stuff to the wedding as
Yeah.
Oh my
Every-
god.
Justin
that
Bieber got
was
paid
horrible.
15 million for a 10-minute performance.
50 million just for 10 minutes.
15.
15 only. Jesus.
Good for him. That's a different conversation. The Justin
Mr. Ambani, if you're listening, sir, I'll do anything for money, sir. Anything, please. I need your
Anything, Liam? Like anything?
Not anything. Calm down. Not that kind of thing. Calm down.
Oh, I thought they could invite you to Lamine Yamal's birthday party. That's what I was thinking.
I don't know who that is. I'm just gonna say no to that. I'm gonna say no to that. That's not
That's
disgusting.
what I thought they could do for money.
Fuck no.
That
Oh,
would
you
be
feel-
a
you
great
feel-
party.
bro.
How tall are you, bro?
Hmm?
How tall are you?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Look at him. What does height have to do with this now? Like, what the fuck is happening?
No. I'm just asking you.
Exactly. See, that's my point. That's
Yeah,
my point.
bro.
I'm just asking you.
Point made. Point made.
Put it this
Also,
way,
I think-
Ekman, you need to wear more glasses to see him. Like, you have to look really down.
Are you on the 5 foot?
I'm all the way back.
if you man know, you know. If you man know, you know.
Oh fuck! Oh,
You couldn't bring
yeah.
it up.
Ekman, you met him not
I
even a
thought
year ago. Ekman, he was half your height, right?
Yeah, now
Yeah,
I'm
he
twice as
was.
big,
Yeah,
bitch.
he was.
Twice
No,
as
no
big.
shade, no hate. It's cute. You're very, bro. It's cute.
Don't say cute. Don't piss
It's
me
like
off.
you're a pet, bro. Really cute.
Yeah, you're my little pet. You're my little beta. My little beta. That's what you are. Actually.
I can't hear you from down there, bro.
Yeah,
Anyways.
sure. Yeah, sure. Just ignore it. Yeah, that's a good idea. Anyways,
That's
Anyway,
crazy.
Liam, what happened to Kimi Antonelli, bro? You were gonna mention earlier.
the driver infringement that he did causing. Who was that driver? He caused. I don't know that. What was the name? It was
Ocon?
at turn 3.
So Ocon.
Yeah, it was Ocon. Yeah, he caused. He forced Ocon at turn 3. That's why he got the driver's infringement. But if I reviewed the footage, I looked at the race on YouTube, and I saw that it was actually Ocon's fault. That they should have
Right.
penalized Ocon for that. It was actually Ocon's fault. That's all I had to say. I know it's not relevant, but I just thought it would add
No,
on.
that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. It's linked
Good
to
point.
F1, so it's fair. It's fair. Obviously we cannot end the show without talking about Scuderia, Ferrari. Home
Wah,
race.
wah, wah. I'm sorry. My bad. Sorry.
I'm joking.
Listen,
Okay,
you'll
okay.
you'll be doing that for the next team you support, anyways. I won't be surprised if this guy comes in a Ferrari jacket very very soon.
All right, let's go. Let me just go
I
get it
won't be
real quick.
surprised. I won't be surprised.
That would
if
mean
one day
Ferrari
he
have
wants
to win.
with the Ferrari jacket. I won't be surprised.
Yeah, I need Ferrari to win first, then I'll decide.
Anyways, Ranveer, I'll let you go first. Actually, King. Sorry, I'll let King go first.
Yeah,
Ferrari.
let him go first. Yeah.
What happened today, bro? I mean, what do you think was the? What do you think was? Do you think it was a fair race? Do you think it was Ferrari did their best? Do you think it was the right strategies? Do you think it was the right sort of pit stop as well?
Oh yeah, Ferrari did fine. They pretty much finished where I expected. Fourth and sixth. I mean, fourth and fifth would have been nicer, but let's be honest, they weren't gonna catch up to the McLarens or Verstappen. So,
Agreed. It was very-
pretty much Leclerc stayed fourth. He started fourth, stayed fourth, and then Hamilton went from 10th to 6th. So that's not got 20 points. Cool. Another race. I'll be honest with you, there's not really much to say on Ferrari. You know, we should have just finished the show before this segment, I'll be honest.
it's Monza, so we have to talk with them for a bit. You know what I mean?
I mean, you know, we saw the fans, the Tifosi.
I would have ended it a long time ago, but we can't leave the Monza review without the.
See, it seemed like as much as the fans were obviously full of Tifosi here, it seemed like Max Verstappen's track as well. Did you guys hear when he was on the podium? They were chanting his song.
Oh, were they?
Yeah, they were chanting "duh, duh, 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 Max Verstappen." Like he completely took over that Grand Prix.
Oh, were they chanting this song? They're not real Tifosi, man. They're, you know, they're Ferrari fans. Red Bull, come on, no.
Tifosi with a Verstappen profile picture.
And saying Hamilton, bro, this guy.
He said earlier.
Exactly.
He said earlier. What do you call it? Here's what he said about.
Wait, let me find it.
No, here.
Lewis Hamilton.
I think he said something about his profile picture, giving us a hint about, you know, his prediction or something. So.
Oh yeah. But the only thing Hamilton could have done is probably tried to undercut George. That's the only probably difference they could have made strategy wise. But outside of that, yeah, 4th and 6th was where Ferrari were gonna be.
And they're always gonna be. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, pretty much in this race. Them and Mercedes were around the same pace wise, so it was just really around that 4th to 7th mark where the two Ferraris were going to end up. And yeah, Charles was close to the McLaren. He had a good start. Obviously, he had the interactions with Oscar.
Very good start. Very
But
good start.
but literally it was like he didn't have the car to compete in the end because as soon as Oscar got past him, Oscar just left him in the dust. He did well to stop Russell overtaking him. You know, he just kept ahead of of George for a couple laps, but obviously because Ferrari had the superior line speed to the Mercedes, it was too easy for him, even with George having DRS. So yeah, fourth and sixth. We moved to the next weekend. But in terms of for the Tifosi, yeah, it's poor when Ferrari don't make the podium because it's not as exciting. You know, the fans are cheering the opposition songs, they're fakes, and yeah, man, they're not cheering on a Ferrari driving the podium. It's a shame. We when frauds like Lando are up there instead of
Oh my-
Charles.
What? Come on, leave the. Oh, no.
I had to, but no,
Punchline. Talking about a
yeah,
punchline.
Ferrari were Ferrari, man.
Ferrari.
W.
Ferrari, the third best car on the grid behind Max and the two McLarens.
Okay, wait. Can I just do something real quick? Speaking of third best, do you want to watch? Do you want to know who the first and the second best are? Because you can watch them today on King's channel. King, you're doing a watch along this evening, right?
Oh yes, definitely. US
The
Open
two best.
final. Yes, Sinner versus Alcaraz. I would have done the women's, but you know, I had to have a siesta, so I missed out. I will be doing the men's later. It starts at 7. We'll see how long it goes for. I'm hoping for a 5-setter. But if Sinner actually plays like he did against Ogier Alessime, he's gonna lose badly. So he needs to pick up his pace. But I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, thank you for the shout out. And also on Rumble, not Kick, we do have authentic world analysis where we do politics. We need to do a show soon. But yeah, we'll bring you one soon. Bring in everything on the news of the world of politics. And yeah, as I said, Rumble,
Yeah.
not Kick. But yeah, Kick Sauber's going to be out of F1 soon anyway.
We
So
won. King, I hope your siesta was worth it because we're gonna have another one. We won.
Yeah.
Tickets out, Rumble's on top. So
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
yeah,
we the best.
Brandon and Liam, you guys want to mention something quick real quick before we close?
Yeah, to be honest, I think Ferrari maximised their performance for this weekend. When Piastri was behind Leclerc was doing some late braking, and it was inevitable that Piastri was going to overtake him. So I think fourth and sixth is the best that they could have managed this race, especially with Hamilton starting in ninth.
Liam?
I think what I want to say is I want to see. I'm gonna hint at Ferrari. I want to see Ferrari use the same flexi wing like Red Bull and see how that works out for them in the next coming races to test out to see if it works for them. Because I think I'm not sure whether they're not getting their setups right, but you can see that I've noticed that Leclerc has been performing better than Hamilton in qualifying based on his qualifying setups and front wing setups. So I think they should try and not technically saying copy Red Bull's flexi wing design, but to a point where they can make it somewhat identical, but make it work for their car.
It's
Would be
competitive
beneficial.
enough. Competitive
Yeah.
enough.
Just maybe I think what Hamilton should do is just seek maybe some advice and see what setup Leclerc has for qualifying and maybe try and test it out and see if it works for him. If it doesn't work for him, then just continue to use his own setup. I don't know.
Hold on. Real quick, while Leah mentioned that,
Agassia.
Sorry.
Okay, I'm so confused. What's
Every time you mention Charles Leclerc, I don't know why I start smiling. It's just like
guys,
I
I'm not even.
understand his bromance, but
I'm
No,
thinking
it's
about Fred Bowser, bro. I'm thinking about Fred Bowser, man.
leave Fred Vasseur alone. I don't even know how to say his last name. Fred Bowser. Yeah, that's better.
I love Fred Bowser, bro.
No, I prefer Christian
No,
Horner.
real quick, shout out. I know we've given him plenty of praise, and he deserves it. Max setup. Actually, we found out that Max pushed Red Bull into doing a very unusual setup. Like he literally took command of the setup this weekend, and he went against the word of his team, basically. So I guess it paid dividends. Kudos to him. That's a champion right there.
He was cooking. He was cooking.
And I guess King, you know what? I'm gonna do what you would do. I guess Lando and Oscar take notes because that's the champion right there.
That was definitely a big up moment. Big up from Ferrari this week.
I'll go quickly. I'm gonna close out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look,
Go for it, man.
I can't lie to you. I 100% agree with you guys. I think Lewis Hamilton did very, very well, especially at the start. And I think to go from P9 to was it P6? He finished P6.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
He did the absolute most he could. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to overtake George Russell, who was the faster car. Unfortunately, today, I say Lewis Hamilton was ahead of him. If he didn't have that penalty, if he didn't have that grid penalty, I reckon he could have been in the podium this week. And I know it sounds crazy, but he could have with the way he was going on. But also Charles Leclerc did what he could as well. I don't think he could have done much more as well. Maximize his pace, and at the start, like I said, I give credit to him. At the start, he was being very competitive with him and Piastri when toe to toe at the very start. Obviously, he was back and forth between Piastri, then we went in front, then Leclerc went in front, and it was just back and forth. But yeah, no. At the end of the day, Ferrari couldn't do much. It's just what it is. Like they've done the maximum. But anyways, I think we'll close out here, people. All right, Nikhil, no worries, bro. You've been on our case all evening, bro. And you call us. You said no ball knowledge, but listen, that's what you
Actually, wait, hold on, Ekevin, he's right. There is no ball knowledge here. This is wheel knowledge. We're not talking about
True.
balls here, man. So if you want to go watch the balls, go watch something else, man.
Yo, what is happening?
Wait, Ran, do you know this guy? Do you know this guy?
No.
No, that's funny. That's funny.
Wait, balls? No, I can't. No, I
Yeah,
can't.
you can go watch some balls, bro.
Oh,
You're so interested in it.
Hamilton's not trash.
even Ranveer.
Yes, he's not in his prime no more already, but he's not trash. He's not trash.
All right, we're talking about. I can't.
But anyways, I think we'll close out here. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Make sure you guys sub to the channel. Sub to King's channel. Let them know what you got coming up tomorrow, bro. I appreciate you for being on my channel today, bro. Appreciate you, bro.
Oh, me? Tomorrow.
Do you have any shows tonight? Do you have any shows tonight, actually? Do you have any tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah, the tennis. Sinner versus Alcaraz. US
Oh,
men's
yeah.
final. I'll be watching that. As I said, Sinner needs to, pattern up because he was moving a bit sus in the semi. But yeah, outside of that,
Alcaraz wasn't perfect in the semi-final match. To be fair, he wasn't amazing as well.
no, he made Novak look 51. Anyway,
We look older than that.
Oh
No.
my
made him
God.
look like an old
No.
man.
No, Novak was good, but you could see there's like 50 years in between them.
Exactly.
No hate. No, I'm not. Like Djokovic was otherworldly impressive, but man, he
What do you have against Djokovic?
What?
What do you have against Novak? Leave my Serbian
think-
brother alone. Leave him alone. Leave the man alone.
Mate, I've said it before. He's by far the greatest of all time in tennis.
Okay,
Like,
good. That's good. That's
not
good.
even close.
As long as it stays that way, then I'll be happy. Anyways,
No, he's old, isn't he? He's not gonna get 25, man. He just needs to give that up. Retire in peace.
Melbourne next year in Aussie. That's his last chance. You got to win in
Yeah.
Australia.
Yeah, it's difficult though because he needs either one of Sinner or Alcaraz to lose to someone else for that to happen, or for one of them not to be fit.
He just beat Alcaraz at Australia this year on one leg. He had the injury as well in Australia.
What did he do lately? Yeah, he got schooled. Alcaraz took him to school. 3 sets. No backlash.
I think on the Aussie hardcourt.
I think he just made simple mistakes, bro.
Ekevin, Aussie hardcourt, that speed favors over Alcaraz, so he can win on Aussie. But like when you talk to US Open, he will get smoked.
Yeah, all grass. He'll get smoked.
But yeah. So King, he's got the tennis tomorrow. Any other shows tomorrow?
No, tennis tonight at 7:00. Be there, be square. And tomorrow, I don't know if there's any football. I'll check out if there's any good football. Obviously, it's an international break. It's a bit boring. I saw the England game yesterday. I'll be honest with you. I should have missed the England game and done the preview show. Would have had more fun.
It's okay.
I should have because the England game was absolutely dreadful.
I was watching the Portugal game on the side, and Ronaldo scored an absolute banger from outside the box.
Yeah, I wasted my time with that. But we'll see. We'll see if there's any good football tomorrow. If not, I'll do a show or something.
You know who isn't wasting his time, King? this man because his time is coming up, right, King? So
Oh yes,
you're gonna
yes,
do a
yes,
show on that, right?
yes, definitely. Oh yes, me and Augustia need to do a show as well. We've got a lot of things to discuss, but we could do that tomorrow if you're free. But obviously during the week I do the show with Rasta, and then I'll be doing any other sports. So any sports, whatever. Also, hey Kevin, we got the cricket coming up. So,
Yes, we do. Oh yeah, when does the India it starts on the 8th, doesn't it? It starts on the 9th.
it starts on the
first-
9th.
The first match is UAE against not UAE. Sorry, I lied. It's not UAE. It's let me have it for you actually.
Yeah, so
The first match starts on Tuesday. Afghanistan versus Hong Kong.
yeah, so
Oh,
yeah,
Jesus.
pick some of
That
those
was-
ones that you want to watch, and we'll watch them.
Sorry.
Afghanistan. No, I'm kidding.
No, that's
That was a very local pronunciation of Hong Kong, bro.
no.
I like it.
That's how I say it. Anyway.
Hong Kong.
I like it.
Well,
Mr.
Afghanistan
Chinese.
versus Hong Kong.
We do. We football, basketball, F1,
Yeah.
tennis, and NFL as well. But we're gonna
Yeah, all love, by the way, with the back
No,
and
it's all
forth.
good, bro. It's all
Yeah,
good, man. So King, I don't mind doing a watch along on Wednesday if you want for India UAE if you want to do that.
Oh yeah. India, UAE.
Tomorrow, I don't think you should bother doing Afghanistan versus Hong Kong, bro. Trust me, it's not worth doing a watch along.
Yeah,
Afghanistan.
Yeah, whatever you say in terms
Well-
of the good. Obviously, we definitely have to do India Pakistan because that's gonna
Yeah,
that's
of
gonna
course,
go
of
off.
course. I'll be there. I'll be there.
Well,
gonna go
King,
on.
if you do that match tomorrow, you're gonna be the only person who's probably doing it, so you could get some bear views.
No,
Oh.
Yeah.
without
Yeah.
people need to be doing it as well.
Yeah, true.
boys.
Have you seen some of
India-
those Indian channels? They go crazy.
India, Pakistan. Oh, I don't think I can do India, Pakistan actually because it might just be the same day as Manchester Derby.
Is it? What day is it?
Yeah, it's on Sunday, I think. And Manchester Derby is on Sunday, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't think I can do it. But I might be able to tune in for a little bit if you want. I might be able to tune in for a bit.
I'll probably just do a double watch along then. I'll have both on at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah, cricket and the football. Why not?
Me
So
and
yeah,
AK will be-
I will be doing watch alongs to cricket,
Imagine.
football, tennis,
me-
Formula One. I did the race today as well. And yeah, shows through the week, with some of the people here as well. AN Sports, Haven. Liam is available. If Liam's available, Ramvik can come through as well. But
I'm
yeah,
always
man,
available, King. I'm always
African
available.
King Academy, and yeah, that's all I got. Oh, and remember, not kick, rumble. Authentic world
Ranveer,
analysis
do
for all
you
your
watch-
politics needs.
Do you watch cricket, Ranveer?
What's
Yeah.
that? Do I watch cricket?
Yeah, you watch cricket, yeah.
No, not really. No.
I was thinking we could do a preview if you want, but I think we'll just wait till the watch along to do preview.
Look at his face. Oh my.
Yeah, we'll just do some watch alongs and see what's
Guys, I
up.
need to leave. Thanks for having me.
No-
Go sub to
no-
no
Cricket
worries.
Academy.
We're
Sub to
we're-
Akavid and see you later, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
appreciate you, man.
peace.
We're
Take
gonna
care.
close anyway. We're gonna close up, people. Make sure you guys sub to Liam and King as well. Links are in the description.
Yeah, man.
Gustia, big up to you, bro. And
Thank you. Yes, sir.
I'll see you guys tomorrow, people. We're out.
Wait,
Take
one
care.
more thing.
Big up to Lumen. Big up to you, bro.
Big up Hadja, top 10 from the bottom to the top. We're here.
Hadja the Badger. No.
Yeah, man. Hadja season. Anyway,
Hell
that's all
yeah,
I
bro.
had to say.
Yeah.
Rookie of the year, him versus Gabby
Yeah,
Bortolano.
we
will be there.
I think Isaac will win it. I think
Yeah.
will win it.
Isaac Hadja.
Anyways, guys, peace. Take care. We're out.